Skye and Belle find themselves in a heap of trouble when a family of Greek mythological figures sends them to steal a magic flower that they destroyed in the first issue. This is our review of Grimm Fairy Tales Volume 2, number 84 from Zenescope Entertainment. See you in 3. Welcome back to Comical Opinions. This is our review of Grimm Fairy Tales Volume 2, number 84 from Zenescope. Let's take less than 60 seconds to recap what happened in the previous issue. Belle enlisted Skye's help to infiltrate an exclusive auction for very rare and magical and powerful items, including a magic flower that had the ability to cure Belle's brother of his infliction. Their plan starts off well enough, and they manage to get in where they needed to go, but they're soon found out. There's a big fight that breaks out, and in the fight, the flower, which has the magical healing abilities, is destroyed, and Belle is captured and enslaved with the necklace of Harmonia. So that brings us to issue number 84. Belle and Skye wake up in a magically sealed room. Danica, who is one of the members of the Greek mythological family, and she is blindfolded and it appears to be something like a fate, if you will, appears as an apparition to explain that the heroes are now in charge of replacing what they destroyed. Belle resists, and when she resists, that inflicts horrible pain upon her body, which is a side effect of the necklace of Harmonia because it compels the wearer to obey the commands of the owner or the family that owns the necklace. Later, Belle and Skye are brought before the family head and his children. Mercurial, who is the leader's son, will lead Skye and Belle through a portal to a pocket dimension where the flower grows. He's given a special sphere because they are not going to keep the portal open. It's too dangerous. Whatever's on the other side could come through. So the family tells him, Mercurial, go through, take them to where the flower is, use them to get the flower, and then when you're ready, crack open the sphere, it'll open up a new portal and bring you back. Sounds easy enough. Of course, nothing is ever easy in these stories. Belle, Skye, and Mercurial emerge in front of an overgrown castle, overgrown with these large weeds and all kinds of plant life and vegetation. They head into the castle and they find dead bodies everywhere, some of which have been there for years or even decades. Suddenly the bodies start springing to life, kind of like zombies, and they start attacking, but they're all slowly, creepily saying Mercurial's name. So he recognizes them, and it turns out that he's sent groups through to get the flower many times in the past. Some make it back and they get paid very well. Others die along the way, and this is where their body lies. But something is behind the zombies and controlling them and directing them to attack the trio. We know Belle is a fighter. We know Skye has magical powers. It turns out Mercurial also has some powers of his own, and when he touches zombies, they explode into flames and they fall apart, but it's not enough. There's just too many of them. So the three of them run off. They manage to get to the inner chamber where the flower is located, and then double cross. Mercurial tries to get Skye and Belle to fight by using the control of the necklace of Harmonia. It sort of works, but these two ladies are no stranger to being forced to do things and overcoming them with their willpower, which exactly they do. So they manage to overcome the control of the necklace. There's a scuffle that breaks out, and they manage to snatch away the sphere and the flower from Mercurial and escape through the portal, leaving him behind to get eaten or killed by whatever is controlling the zombies on the other side. And that's it. It's a quick read. It's a fast issue. So let's talk about the technical aspects, starting with character development. Dave Franchini, who is the writer of this series, goes out of his way to kind of emphasize and bolster the idea that Belle and Skye are both very strong, capable, and stubborn and willful, but in all the right ways for a hero. When the villains say you're not allowed to do that, they say, watch me, sucker, and they overcome magic, they overcome force, they overcome everything. So there's a great strength and a presence of will that is embodied in both of their characters, and Franchini plays that up to the hilt. So let's switch over and talk about the art. We're not always keen on Babasu Cortez's art, who is the artist in this issue. Sometimes his pencils are a little distorted. Sometimes his inks are a little sloppy. He has gotten better over the last couple years, so that's a great improvement. Just on general cleanliness and the sharpness of the lines, it's pretty decent. That said, there's almost no wow moments in this issue. There's no big splash pages. There's no big dump moments. There's no big, just sock you in the face kind of splash page of any sort. So even though the technical aspects of the issue are steady improvement over what Cortez has done in the past, it's just lacking oomph, and we wish there was more of it. Let's move over to pacing and structure. Generally speaking, the pacing is steady. It's good. There's a few ups and downs. They're mild. They're not great, or just extreme, I should say. The plot structure makes sense. You understand what the goals of the heroes are after, even though they're being compelled or forced. And there's an interesting twist because Belle wants the flower just as much as the Greek mythology family wants the flower. So then now there's a bit of a twist in that there's competition for the same goals rather than just heroes being forced to do something they don't want to do. Belle actually wants to get the flower. So there's a strange dichotomy there. That's an interesting twist. Uh, Regarding the development, what's really lacking is just clarity. No, I won't say clarity, but just development of the family. As the head of the cast of the family of these mythological creature characters, you don't even know his name, or at least it was mentioned in the first issue. It's not even mentioned in this issue. So the villain aspects of this story are very underdeveloped, and so that just makes it hard for you to get behind what Belle and Skye are doing, in that they have an enemy presence that they're trying to compete or fight against, but there's nothing compelling about them at all. I mean, you barely even know their names or what they're about or what they're after, other than they exist, which is just not enough. A compelling hero has to have a compelling villain, and this issue does not have compelling villains. Let's move over to talk about the themes of the issue, and really the overarching theme, or the most prevalent theme, is family. Belle is trying to get the flower so she can save her brother, who is a member of her family. The family patriarch of this collection of Greek mythological characters, they're all working together as a family, and they're all trying to do things as a family. So over and over again, the word that keeps hitting home is family. From a big picture and a historical context perspective, you will see some names, if you're familiar with Greek mythology anyway, you will see some names you recognize, like Pasiphae and Andromeda, who are the daughters. Danica is another daughter, but we'll get to that one in a second. And Mercurial, who is his son, is also, these are names that are familiar with in Greek mythology. However, Danica is not so much. Danica is commonly known as a Slavic goddess who represents the personification of the morning star. So even though the general family makeup is composed of Greek mythological characters, the daughter Danica, who appears to be some sort of fate, is more of a Slavic twist, which kind of, I'm not sure if that was intentional or accidental, or there just happens to be another form of Danica in Greek mythology that's less prevalent than Danica from Slavic um, origins, but there we are. Final thoughts. What do we think about Grimm Fairy Tales, Volume 2, number 84? Belle and Skye have to undertake a dangerous mission, which is good, on behalf of a family of mythological characters, which could be interesting. The central plot is creative, sure, and the character work is generally on point. But the art is okay. I mean, I would say it's a little bit better than mediocre, but not by much. And the villains just are not compelling, and they lack development. So a great hero needs a great villain. You have a great hero, not so much on the villain side. So therefore, we're going to give Grimm Fairy Tales Volume 2, number 84 from Zenescope Entertainment, a 6.5 out of 10. What did you think about this? If you're a Grimm Fairy Tale reader, what did you think about this issue? If this review either changed your mind about getting it or convinced you not to get it, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if this review was helpful in any way whatsoever. And then stay tuned through the outro for the next review.